explain what the county show is. The county show is a social occasion for people who live in the countryside. They bring their best farm animals to the show to compete with each other. And it's generally a big social occasion where people meet together and they go and have a look and chat. It's all good fun, really.
Well, we're very fond of the Bath and West because they always make you welcome, and here you get free straw for the cattle, and everybody is helpful, and you get paid for the milk here, which you don't at some shows. And it's nice to meet your friends.
Well, I've been involved since I was 3 or 4. My parents were both very horsey. I'm planning to go totty hunting a bit later, but I gotta. Well, that's after I've jumped my class, because otherwise I'll run out of time. I'll get in trouble by the parents because I haven't done my job properly, but plenty of time for everything.
Things have changed a terrific amount. Yeah, they really have. You know, things were a lot slower, and there wasn't the rush and tear that there is today. There wasn't, you know, and...
Well, donkeys are so intelligent. A lot of people don't think they are, but donkeys are so intelligent, it's unbelievable. They're almost as intelligent, I would say, as a dog.
We've got one donkey that came from the middle of London. That got too much for his owner. We've got another donkey that came from Ross-on-Wye. We've got another donkey that's came in with another donkey, and then we've got another donkey that came with the little donkey that we've got.
My main reason for being competitive is because I know the more I win, the more girlfriends I'll have, and the more girlfriends I have, probably the more I'll win, because the more support I'll get, just as I go in a big pressure class. So the idea is to keep winning and keep gaining lots of girlfriends at these shows.
So first prize goes to number 116, Bowsdown Alpacas, Oxfordshire.
The judge we've got today is from Peru, Dr. Julio Sumar, and he is one of the best regarded judges in the world, and he's come here especially from Peru to judge today. Only I think he's going to be here till midnight at this rate, so...
You're all in a line, and the judge is walking up and down behind you, and then walks up and down in front of you, and then he moves up and he pats or slaps on the back of the animal that's the winner, and that animal moves forward. So you're there, and he moves towards you. This is it. And then the bucker turns and goes up the other way, and then he comes back, and it's a terrific feeling when he slaps, and then the crowd all applaud, and it's great feeling.
Oh yeah, it's like a drug. It's like you've had a large scotch suddenly, and then you go on to having a whole bottle, and you keep coming back for more, and you want more, and when you get more, you want more, and you feel quite elated afterwards and really excited. Yeah, it's really good.
I think you could say that show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. All the pigs here, of course, are pedigreed. We can go back generations. A pig without a pedigree is just a pig.
And there's no problems with the confirmation at any aspect of it. The animal is a well-conformed animal.
When you're checking out the competition, you wait until they all go back to their truck and trailers for their evening meal or whatever, and then you come up and have a good look round late at night in the twilight hours.
There are stories about cows that have been milked out and in the middle of the night, and bulls that have suddenly gone lame, and all this kind of capers, and blown up with wind because someone's put someone in the food or whatever. But I mean, that's the kind of their stories, and that happens very, very infrequently.
We've had one or two very slight instances over the last 5 years, but in the old days, when there was... I'm just giving an interview to a gentleman who's doing a TV series, Carl, and I'll give you a ring right back, all right? Okay. Sorry about that.
Doctors and I are great friends. I I owe a lot to doctors. They've kept me alive. I've seen a lot of them. They've come, they've prodded me from top to bottom, in and out, every end, every part of my body. And they've cut me open, stitched me up, and done a pretty good job on me all over.
I've took a lot of tablets all my life, about 23,000, and I'm still alive. But at the end of the day, I think without them I'd have been dead.
I was injured badly once. Somebody kicked me in the forehead. Being very young, I got up and carried on and didn't think it had done me much damage. For all I know, some of that damage may still be there. May still affect some of the things I do and some of the things I say.
I'm all right walking on the flat and downhill, but I can't go uphill. As soon as I start to go uphill, I get chest pain. It starts to tighten up. But what I do, where I live, there's a downhill slope down to what they call the co-op. I walk down there and come back on the bus. The ideal weather for me is dry, about 65 to 68, I'm perfect. Anything over that or under that, I'm struggling, especially in cold mornings. I shouldn't really go out in cold mornings. I've been told I shouldn't go out in cold mornings. I shouldn't go out in the wind. And also, I should, just do what I can do. And I'll say some days I can move mountains, the next day I can't do anything.
British food, I think, is first class. It's somehow clean, satisfying.
The trouble with the foods we eat now, there's too much fat in them. And the worst thing that happens in this country, there's too many people eat chips.
Dirt on food. Dirt on food. What? Dirt on food can kill you. You can put one mouthful of dirty food in your mouth and you can be a goner. Can you ask me that question?
We had, in fact, we had wild strawberries, little wild strawberries. And of course, if it was acorn time, you could always eat an acorn. And even the thistle, you could always peel the top off of the thistle.
I mean, at lunchtime, instead of kiddies going down and buying a couple of apples or a couple of pears, what do? They go to the chip shops and buy chips. And when they get home at night, they have chips again.
I didn't like to eat anything really that was contaminated by any insect. Although we put up with it when you're hungry. I never ate it, that I know of. I may have done. I don't know.
Vegetarians, I think they're sort of trying to be better than the rest of us. It's been proved, as far as I know, that the best thing to eat is a bit of yourself.
I think the egg came first.
I think
to give birth, so the chicken could come out, and then the chicken can have more eggs.
But where would the egg come from?
Oh yeah, but if you think about it, an egg is going to become a chicken, but it's being but then the chicken's going to would be an egg. So if you think about chickens after the egg, I think egg comes first.
Yeah, but maybe the chicken might have come from another animal, like a rooster. It's confusing.
We all started off much the same kind of thing. We all were waddling along on our bellies to begin with. Then we grew arms and heads and legs, and some of us got up and walked, and some of us stayed down crawling around. I'm glad I've evolved the way I am. I wouldn't like to have been further back in the evolutionary scale.
It's just the excitement of actually, just still get a bit of a thrill out of it. After all these years, brings me back to my childhood. Christmas Eve we get off early, so I'll run around all these mad places. Sometimes you get a bit jealous that everyone else is still snuggy and wrapped up in their beds and you're out there in the freezing cold, but it's got its compensations. Being appreciated, that's the nicest part of it, when you are appreciated.
So we had the normal sort of, lunch and then sort of all sat around playing a few games. And we had this great room, because we've actually moved since, but it was a converted barn, and it was just one massive old stone barn with a snooker table in it. It turned out to be a bit of a party, which, less of the sort of family stuff, but more of the sort of, let's have a great old time. I'm obviously not crazy enough with my presents, but one thing that I always give, and it's the best present because I was given it myself, that was a fondue set. The best present in the world. Great.
Yeah. I think it's tough for us. Imagine what it's like for Santa, sort of. How many billions of people does he have to deliver to? And he does it in about 4 hours. So he's a pretty cool guy. Especially for the size of him. He's a big fat belly. I don't know how he does
it. Brilliant. My family's been out here running a donkey ride since 1886. We've been here, so we're a long-established family. And we've seen a lot of changes over the years.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. No, too many germs in the sea. Too many things that can make you ill and bad. If you want to stay healthy, stay out of the sea, that's what I say.
When it does rain, it clears the beach. As soon as you get some rain, there can be thousands of people along the beach. As soon as you get a drop of that rain, they're gone.
No, don't want to burn my skin, do I? Bad for you.
But the only reason I'm still doing this job is because of the children. If you see their faces as they get off a coach, remember, some have never seen a beach before, and it gives us great pleasure. The children are what make the job.
You can't tell what your children will look like when they're inside there, can you? I mean, what's going to come out? Well, there's going to be a bit of you and a bit of her, and you hope what comes out is going to be the best bits of you and the best bits of her. And if they could only come out showing the best bits of both of you, then they'd be better than you, wouldn't they? That's what we want. We want all our children to be better than what we are now.
I couldn't have a better dad. I couldn't look up to anybody. I couldn't see anybody telling me how to live my life any better than the way my dad did. And I hope I can be just as good to my own children. I try, but I don't think I can be. I don't think anybody could be as good as my dad. Oh, my dad's my hero, without a doubt, definitely.
I had to stand on one leg and do a raspberry, go arse over, what's it, in front of 250 people. And I bonked my head. I thought it was a goner. And I heard them, as I hit the floor, go, and it was weird because it took off. I just flew. And I was just so embarrassed. I was like, no, I'm fine, just get back on, I'm fine.
I normally try and interact with an audience, but with 800 it becomes really difficult. But I actually think I managed. And that's an amazing feeling to just see that you're making an impact.
You'd think after all this time I wouldn't, but yes, I still do. I still freak out and panic and fear, the audience reaction to me, and then I get over it.
If it's badly done, it can be very sad.
Oh, it's totally embarrassing. Yeah, I don't like clowns.
It doesn't work out. You feel pity for them, and that's so awful.
It's knowing that whatever I take on to perform in front of the audience, actually, it comes through me. It's something that I take on, and it just kaboom.
We did a show a couple of years ago, and 8,000 kids saw it in a week. We had about 1,000 kids per performance. And the kids were they were 8 or 9, screaming blue murder. Oh, I've never been so scared in all my life. I must be stupid. And you get out there, and you look out and you think, they're just loving it. And they're completely engrossed in what you're doing.
I am scared of heights a bit. I think I could get over it though.
Drunk people. I hate them. They behave like a gang of wild animals, who are not animals. They're loud, they shout, birds fly off. they're singing hip-hop song that doesn't make sense to anybody, and they're wearing these white trainers and walking like orangutans normally, yeah? The hands is forward, the bend, and they're going like...
Yeah, I don't like people breathing down my neck. No, I don't like anybody breathing down my neck. And it makes the hairs on my back of my neck stand up if I can feel somebody breathing down my neck. Get back.
The best thing you can do is leave traces of poo in the way, because they're actually not looking at all on the ground, they're looking at the girls around them. They step on it, they walk with it, then starting to smell. So they blame each other and they look at the sole of the shoes and that's it. They've been hit by us. It showed them that you can be dangerous, but in a smelly way. Impressions are sometimes funny because there's like a caricature, exaggerated movement of ourselves. But it depends who does it, you know, maybe 90% of times it's not good. Like when I do impression of someone, it's really bad. Like doing, you know, David Beckham. It's going on like that, you know, it's a kind of geezer from downtown, you know, South London, innit?
That one, just like that, just like that. Just like that.
I do a pig.
Yeah. Do another just like that, shall we? Just like that. Or just like that, just like that.
Oh, I don't really do animal sounds like that. I got the wife to do all that, see? Hey?
Come on, have a go. Do a goldfish.
Oh, what? Do one of they, I suppose.
As long as you don't think you're kissing me like that, that's another thing going.
What I hate is when people do that bloody taxi driver, Robert De Niro. Talking to me, shut up! You know, it's so overdone, it's unbelievable.
Do cuckoo? Cuckoo! Cuckoo! I do one of them. Cuckoo! Cuckoo! Can you do a cuckoo? Cuckoo! Cuckoo! I never really tried animal sounds, have you? Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
Personally, I find it so much easier to run with somebody than on my own.
It is by far the best on the social.
Oh yeah, I really love it. Wife hates it, I love it. Running is a mind thing. It is a mind thing.
It is a mind thing.
It's not a case of just putting one foot in front of the other. It is a mind thing. If you haven't got the frame of mind to run that day, that time, that minute, you're only one step away from a walk. And that is it.
That's a good point.
Excuse me, could I interview you on your experience of running?
It's exhausting. I get a bit red and sweaty and hot, very hot. And I find at times I get sort of chafing. That's quite uncomfortable.
I heard, through the body odor from others, we realize if we are genetically matching or not. And unfortunately, the way nature works is the odor rather than perfume, you know. So the way it is, I'm sorry, I can't change it, so I smell and I like to smell people as well. If I smell you in the street, don't be offended.
I am sexy all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Well, which part of you?
Oh, all of
exactly?
me, of course. You know, that's... So I feel like that when I get out in the mornings, you know, I feel very sexy. Most of the times you're not there, but there you are. You know, can't help that, can he? But do you feel sexy?
No, particularly.
Well, it is early, isn't it?
I have lots of trapped air that has to get out somehow. And that's really bad when you're sleeping with someone. And methane gas is lighter than air, so you end up on the ceiling. And so that's why I choose not to sleep with anybody, and that's why I don't have a partner for a long time. It's all Not my fault, it's the methane gas fault.
The thing is with you, your mother did everything for you. And then when you come up to me, you're ruddy bloody useless.
Obey, that's what the vicar
No,
said.
I didn't. When we got married, I did not obey.
Obey.
No, I didn't obey.
Obey.
No.
There you go. We've got 3, you see. But there's one I can never remember her name. She does a lot of riding. I'm trying to think of a flipping name now. What's she called? Well, let's just call her Rosie for today. Yeah, Rosie. Good old Rosie.
I used to be very romantic when I was younger. I think everybody who's younger is very romantic, you know. Fall in love, thinking about the partner, doing different things to them in your head.
How many hours do you reckon you could stay awake for?
I could sleep 12 hours, easy. I could go to bed now and not wake up till 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
5. There's the phone ringing.
Right. Hello? Hello? No, I'm sorry, she died ages ago. You need to update your records a bit better. She didn't, there's only the neighbour that moved, but they don't like to.
Okay, Stephen, have you ever sleep talked?
Well,
How do I know?
How's he going to know if he sleep talks?
You should ask her that question. She.
No, sometimes Stephen's like tossing and turning, and I think he's probably running away from somebody. He's probably doing something that he shouldn't be doing, or he's usually, yeah, he does something. So I don't know what he's doing.
Describe communication.
You know when a donkey's unhappy. If a donkey's bad-tempered, it will lay its ears right down like that. Bad-tempered. When they're happy, their ears are usually up or slightly forward like that. But if they're laid right down like that and they're swishing their tail like she is now, that's showing aggression. But their ears have got to be down, right flat on their body to show aggression. But normally they're straight up again, like hers, look. They're straight up. Or just flopped out to the side, like that. They'll flop them out to the side. They're up. But then they'll flop them out. But they're all up, pricked up, looking happy, like that. But that's the only thing, you've got to watch a donkey when she lays her ears right down like that.
As far as communication goes when we're working sheep, it can either be vocal or whistle. So, to go left, and it goes round to the right, and that turns the sheep to the left. And that's how it works. It's communication between 3 different animals.
On your nose, look, see? Oh, that was a good one, wasn't it?
I always thought they were being aggressive.
No, that's showing affection. Now somebody should put your hand in her mouth, look.
When you need communication, I mean, it doesn't matter that you don't speak the language or you don't speak because you are blind or you don't hear. I mean, it's something you need to live. You need to communicate. You need to communicate with someone. Something you need. Always there's something you need or something someone needs and needs to communicate with you. So it's something really, it's really important. The communication is something.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do it, but no, you put your hand in your mouth. Yeah, show her your tongue. Let's see your tongue. Come on. Show me your tongue. I want to see your tongue. There he is. Look, I got him. Come on, I want to see your tongue. There you go. Look, there's your tongue.
They don't mind you doing that?
No, I wouldn't recommend him. No, I wouldn't say you do it, but no, they just trust me. You see, that's what it is.
Have you always been into animals and stuff?
Yes, I lived in a game reserve for about 14 years before I moved to England. So you get used to the animals around you.
I have been living here a while, so actually I find that it's quite similar in the way that there are a lot of foreign people and the people are really friendly. So obviously I find this place nice to stay, yeah.
I do like Catherine, the zebra, Katie rather. She looks like she's like the zebra equivalent of like a tennis ball that your dog's had for years, and he's bitten all like the fluff away, and you've just got that like hard black rubber under surface with a couple of patches of what used to be the outside of the ball. She's so old now, bless her, she's losing her stripes.
I'm very, what's the word? What's the word, Jeff, when women sort of are frightened of me? What do you call it? What's it called? Come on. Oi. Yes, you said to me, English women don't like me because I'm what? Too much of a threat. Too much of a threat. I give out sexual appeal.
The hippos don't do anything. 22 hours a day of sleep and 2 hours of eating. That's about it. They are so bone idle.
It depends on what mood the monkeys are in. I mean, if it's really hot weather, then you say if you see any monkeys doing much damage.
It's when they stop whistling and looking that you start worrying, you know. Your face.
But it depends on what mood the monkeys are in completely to what damage they do.
I'm hoping to get a working permit to stay working in the safari park, but unfortunately I don't know yet, so it's going to take about another 6 months for me to find out.
This summer is going to be the last summer I'm going to be here. I've been here a while, and really I haven't traveled as much as I would like.
Do you know how old I am? What do you think? I won't be cross, I promise.
I can't speak.
Oh, come on. Mouth it. Next.
Is that the way out?
No idea.
We were following you.
No, we're trying to find a way in. We know where the way out is.
You don't know the way out.
This isn't the way out though, is it?
Because we always sing out of tune. If you're a foreigner listening to our song, it sounds out of tune, but it's not really. We are quarter pitch.
Are you sure?
Yeah! On the 10 days of Christmas, la 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 la. Geese are laughing.
What do you think French hens are? Do you have any idea at all? Whatever.
This Christmas was awful, but next one will be better. I don't know, I'm doing German accent. I'm so bad at doing an impression of Her Holiness. But is it legal? Because I might get deported doing this, you know?
That must refer back to the sort of gamey type of thing, bearing in mind it's only royalty that are officially allowed to eat swans. Broad swans.
Hi, ladies dancing.
It's a nice song, and it always takes you right into Christmas, doesn't it, really? Do you like it? Well, yeah.
Four calling birds. Hold on.